Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Srila Prabhupada's Book Reading Club. Currently, we are reading Chant and Be Happy. So, we completed the first chapter, and like yesterday, we completed the second chapter. And today, we will do the summary. And from tomorrow, we can start the chapter 3 as well. And please forgive me in start, like I'm asking the forgiveness in starting because like my throat is not okay. Even like I have some like, kind of a breathing issues. So, like it will be little interrupting, but we will try to cover it. Okay, so let's start our session by offering the prayer. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान् च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहित कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितान् च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्गायते गिरि यत्कृपातहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। So in chapter one also we have learned lots of things. The first thing like takeaway I took is that like okay, we are the practicing but we should able to explain all the things to the neophytes. Okay, then then only we can render little service to the Srila Prabhupada. We can see how beautifully Mukunda and George are the discussing. So like we left at our discussion at the spiritual food. So like okay, we don't eat only the vegetarian food. We offer the food in a form of a bhoga to Lord Krishna. Then when Krishna accept it, it become a prasadam. And when Krishna accept the food, like he take away all the sinful reaction from that food, and then we accept it as a prasadam. And the prasadam not only nourishes the body, but prasadam also nourishes our soul. And we also see in the nectar of instruction that how we can control our tongue belly genitals because they are like a line on the straight line. So simply by chanting the holy name and taking the prasadam. When we take the prasadam, then we can control the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals. So yes, the prasadam has a lot of importance. Even like even a stray dog eat the one grain of a prasadam in next his human life is guaranteed. Then like then what to speak about the eating prasadam all the time. Okay, so prasadam has the like a great importance. Even like like some devotees ask the Prabhupada like prasadam is a spiritual, but sometimes it gets stale. So should we eat it? Like should it throw it? Then Prabhupada said it depends on your consciousness. If you think that the prasadam is a spiritual and like if you take it without any hesitation, then like nothing will happen to you. But if you think that it is a stale and then you will accept, then you may suffer some diseases. Okay, so it depends on a consciousness. For example, the same thing we can take it from the nectar of instruction. Like even the Ganges in the rainy season, they become so muddy and like they seem so impure. But the person who is steady in intelligence, who is intelligent, he think he know like currently also, like just because it is like contains some mud or like some like soil particle, but it doesn't like decreases the purity of a Ganges. Then in that water also, like in that muddy water also, the like the great sages take the bath and they drink some that water, because it depends on the consciousness, na? So yes, like, and what is the purpose of prasada? We trying to see Lord everywhere. We are trying to see Krishna everywhere. Okay. And like most of the devotees, like I'm not one of them, but like most of the devotees, they join the Krishna consciousness, like because they get the taste for the prasadam. And like in a temple they provide some khichdi or some halwa or like other sweet or like other prasadam there, and they're so nectarian at taste, because Krishna's saliva is a mix in that in that food, so it becomes spiritualized. And it is so tasty. I also used to love that prasadam so much when I start visiting temples. And like you know like when you are giving gulab jamun to some person, then they also start thinking that you are also sweet. Okay. So like we can attract the devotees, like so you can hold those Sunday feast program at your home also. Like you can call some relatives or call some society members, and like you can discuss about the Krishna, or you can chant, or like you can, or like otherwise like you can simply give the prasadam, because they will take it as a sweet, and like they will relish it. But like they will get what kind of we say agyat sukruti. And like when they take prasadam constantly, like then some purification happen, then they become open to take the instruction, and they become open to chant the Hare Krishna. Okay. So like even like George say, like can you imagine, this is the small this is the small like Krishna is also present in this small samosa, and I'm eating Krishna. So everything is everything can be connected to the Krishna. Okay. And like there are a lot of varieties, like when we say like we don't want to take the non-vegetarian foods, or we don't have to like take the food without onion and garlic, then like then like most of the people say, then like you will lose all the varieties, you will lose all the freedom to taste the varieties. But this is not a fact. On the Jalmastami, on on Govardhan Puja, we offer the thousands of items to the Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, even our Radha Govinda. So there is no question of the variety. There are like plenty of varieties, but like some devotees are so lethargic, some lazy and a little lethargic to prepare the most of the items. So this I think this may be the reason, because there are a lot of varieties. You can prepare a lot of items, and you can offer it to the your Gaurnita, or you can offer it to your Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, or Radha Krishna. Okay. And like even like they are explaining about the Govindas, like it is so beautiful now, like devotees are preparing food, and devotees are serving the food. So, and even like some people have started the healthy, wealthy, and wise, because like when you eat the sattvic food, we become healthy. And like and we can see the greatest what is our greatest wealth, it's our health. So we can also become a wealthy. And like when we take the prasadam, we we get the some we get like our consciousness changes, then we also become a wealthy. Okay. And like wise, like when we take the prasadam, our intelligence improves. So like yes, when we take the prasadam, we become healthy, wealthy, and wise. And like sattvic food is like it's a balance, it's good for body, and like it is a prepare fresh. And when we prepare with the attitude of a devotion, oh, whatever I'm preparing, I'm going to offer it to my Lord Krishna. Like I am whatever I'm like cooking, I'm preparing for the satisfaction of my Lord. Then like whatever you are cooking, it becomes so nice, and it becomes so tasty. Okay. Because like when you are having this intention, it becomes spiritualized. So even like the people say, if you turn the vegetarian, or like if you turn the krishnatarian, then like there will be like there will be some protein deficiency. But like these people are fooling you, like this is simply a market strategy to like sell more items. But thing is that like naturally in a beans, in a pulses, and like even in a like the soya bean, and like even the milk products like paneer, they have like plenty of amino acids, and they have the plenty of proteins. So if you take the balanced diet, then there is no question of a protein deficiency, and even the vitamins deficiency, because the veggies are the full of that. Even the like what minerals like or what vitamins like veggies don't provide, we can get it through the fermented foods like idlis and dosas, even through the like dairy products like yogurt and paneer. Okay. So, and even the further they are discussing about the paintings, and what the Mukunda says that like paintings are the windows to the spiritual world, because through the paintings we can see like how spiritual world like look, we get some idea. Okay. And like yes, multimedia can be used in a Krishna conscious services. And like when we are sitting and when we are closing our eyes, then it is very hard to concentrate on the Hare Krishna mantra. But when we are looking at a beautiful picture of a Radha Govinda, then like we can meditate on his lotus feet, we can meditate on his lotus eyes, face, chest, his lotus fingers, we can meditate on every part. Like even we can meditate on his jewelry, his like his garlands, because whatever come in a touch of a Krishna and Radha Rani and our deities, they become spiritualized. So when you are meditating on something which is spiritualized, then you also become spiritualized. Okay. So like, and we can see how Krishna is merciful. Like we yesterday like day before that, we also experienced like even we get the like like a body of a worm like who is eating like living on the eating stool, then also Krishna come in a form of a Paramatma. Even we become a tiger, then also like Krishna comes and sit in our heart in a form of a Paramatma. So Krishna never leave us. Okay. So further, then like the like discussion between the meeting with the Srila Prabhupada, and like George, here is something like something incredible that we have to really apply in our life. That like how like a devotee how devotee should be like, and like what is the behavior of a devotees, and like how he is treating other peoples. That here the George says that like like Srila Prabhupada spread Hare Krishna movement to like every nook, like we can say in like entire world. Okay. And it's really amazing. Prabhupada is getting older and older, yet his writing is the books all the time. So here we can see Prabhupada is engaged in every time, like like Avyarth Kala Begum. He is not wasting his time watching reels or watching like a lot of things, but he is engaging his time in Krishna conscious activities. And like what is the attitude of like Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada used to think, I am the servant of the servant of the servant, and then he used to correct that I'm trying to become servant. Okay, he's like he's not even accepting I am the servant of a Lord. No, he's saying that I'm trying to become servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. So this should be our attitude. And other hand, like what other people are saying, they are in, like they are imposing themselves to be the divine incarnation, and like they are asking to hype him up. But other hand, like Prabhupada don't want to like come in a focus. Prabhupada wants to put Krishna in a focus. Okay, so this should be our attitude. Like when we are preaching, we shouldn't focus, or like we shouldn't put the focus on ourselves, oh how great speaker you are or how knowledgeable you are. No, like we have to put the focus on our Guru Parampara, and we have to put the focus on our Krishna. Focus should be Krishna. Okay. And what the next qualities that please the George, that is the humility and the simplicity. Devotee should be like they should be humble, and like they should have the simplicity, like simple living and high thinking. Okay. And devotees don't make anyone feel uncomfortable. Okay. And like they are real, and they are good friend to all. And even Srila Prabhupada was 79 year old they are working practically all through night and day after day, very with very little sleep. Still, he come through me as he was the very highly educated or intellectual being, but he has this childlike a simplicity. So like we can say here, the Prabhupada is working so hard even at when he was the 79-year-old. So we, like, it doesn't mean that you also have to compromise your sleep and like you have to sleep for the 2 to 3 hours. No, like you can take the sleep for the 6 hours or maximum 7 hours, but like the rest of the time try to engage in Krishna conscious activities by reading the Prabhupada books, by hearing the Prabhupada books, like and further, uh, like what says, the Mukunda says in one of his books, means what Srila Prabhupada is writing, your sincere service was better than some people who are more deeply into the Krishna conscious but could not maintain the level of a commitment. And how did you feel about this? Then yes, like a sincere service is a better than, like some people they they read the lot of books, and they have the lot of knowledge, but they are not utilizing that knowledge, they are not applying that knowledge in their real life. And like even they boast themselves as a great devotees, but when it comes to the service they don't have the time, or like they don't want to render service. But like we have to become very sincere. When we render service, you have to hear about the more about the Krishna, or you have to read the Shastras. And when you are reading the Shastras, then like what Shastra says, you have to render the service. Okay, when you are chanting, what we are asking, oh Radharani, oh Krishna, please give me service. And when like we get the service, then we again have to chant. So this goes in a loop. We are asking service, then we have to become a sincere in a like a rendering service. Then this both become responsible for our purification. And we have we have to maintain the level of commitment. Okay, and we should be grateful. Like people are no not so grateful, like even like to our Nam Nishta Das Prabhu, we need to be very grateful. Oh, like because of Nam Nishta Das Prabhuji we get the association. Because of him, like we come to know about the Krishna. Like otherwise, like even in my case, I will be simply wasting my life, like in a sense gratificatory things, or like my like entire life will be wasted. But like it has changed, because like he's the instrument, and like we should be grateful to him, like he's our teacher. So like what's the like we should render some service to him, and that too with the sincerity. Okay, and one moment in the company of a divine person, Krishna's pure devotee, can help that tremendous effect. That is one shloka na? uh, like lava matra, I'm not able to recall that. Sadhu sanga sarva shastra काय, lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hai. So like when you are simply associating for the lava, like what is time period of a lava, anyone knows? Lava
By
means what?
11th of a second.
Yes, 1/11th of the second. For this small time, also you are engaging with the like pure devotee, then your life will be successful and you will get all the knowledge. So like this association means you have to follow the instruction. Okay, don't take it wrong. Okay. So further, what the George is saying, that like a devotee should be example. Like as we can see, Prabhupada is a perfect example of what he is preaching. He is only taking prasadam, he is chanting his rounds, he are rendering, he is using 24/7 in Krishna service. So he is a perfect example. So before preaching, try to become a perfect example. Attain Mangalarti, chant your rounds, and like utilize your time in hearing and chanting. When purification happen, then like purity is the force. When you are pure in your practice, then like or you are practicing what you are saying, then it have some kind of a effect. Okay, so Prabhupada was always chanting and always pre-reaching. And so like when you are rendering service enthusiastically, then like the devotees also see your enthusiasm, like, and they also start rendering services. And yes, like even Prabhupada, we can see like from the Prabhupada's memory, even like Prabhupada like used to travel, but there is a something called like a time lag, or like some traveling lag, na? So like, but he used to fix his watch to that time, and like then he start working. There is no there is no lack for him, because he is a Krishna consciousness. We can see the more we become Krishna consciousness, we transfer from this material or bodily plane to the spiritual plane. And in the spiritual plane there is no lethargy. In spiritual plane there is no uh, tiredness. Like it is a full of energy. And Prabhupada like is always quoting from the Shastras. He is not saying something whimsically. And like Prabhupada, like as we discussed, Prabhupada don't focus on himself, like how great sage I am and I am the incarnation of Lord. No, he simply focus on the Guru Parampara, and he simply focus on the focus also on the Krishna. Okay. So, and like we can further see in my sweet Lord, in that, like in the churches or in other religions, they said like you cannot see the God. God is like up higher, and like you cannot see him. Like so simply believe what we are saying and shut up. But what the Vedic scripture says, what the Prabhupada says, you can understand God through the Shastras, and like you can see the Lord face to face. But for that you have to purify your senses, and you should get the divine vision, then you can see him. So he is not like, we cannot reject, like we cannot see, or we can never see the God because he is up high there. No, like yes, we can see the Lord even in current in this material world also, but for that, like we should get the divine wisdom and we should purify our senses. Okay. So yes, and the Krishna consciousness is open for everyone, so everyone should take part, and everyone should like try with the sincerity, then they can get the realization. And like yes, like whatever good like the further topic is the karma and reincarnation. So whatever act reactions we are getting, whatever good and bad happening currently in our life, they are they are coming from our past, whatever activities, pious and impious activities we had done in our past life. They are coming, these reactions are coming here. So like you cannot blame for Krishna, because you have do some naughty stuff in the past life and now you are suffering, and you cannot blame, oh Krishna, why this. But like what is the attitude of devotee that we are discussing, that like okay, when we are getting the good pious things, that Krishna, like I'm not I'm not capable, or I'm not qualified, then also Krishna is so merciful, he is giving me such a good resource. And if we have the problems in our life, so it is, we have to take it as the testing, or we have to take it as a purification. And Krishna is so merciful. If you have the 100 unit problem, like if you are going to there is one example Prabhupada is giving, like when Prabhupada was cooking or doing something, his his finger, little cut was there, and like some drop like come blood, drops of a blood come out. Then then Prabhupada says, see, Krishna is so merciful. Maybe at this time my head should be cut, but by Krishna's mercy, it simply go replaced by the drop of a drop of the blood. So so yes, like we may think that this problem is so big, but actually Krishna is so merciful. Like he he's simply giving the 1% of that problem, what we should suffer. So we should be like very thankful to Krishna. And like whatever happening in our life, it's due to our past karmas, and that too, like whatever reactions currently we are getting, they are on the Krishna's mercy. Krishna is seeing, okay, this is good for him, this is bad for him. If I give this, like he will go run away. If I don't give this, like he will run away. So Krishna is planning everything, and Krishna's plans are perfect. So what is the duty of a disciple? He don't have to he should not be get affected by the good and bad situation. He simply have to focus on his Krishna consciousness, that we are reading in Prabhupada's books and in Prabhupada's purpose. So this human life is for to getting out of the cycle of a birth and death. And how we can get out of the cycle of birth and death, that we have to accept the bona fide spiritual master. We have to take the shelter, and taking shelter means again following the instruction. Like until and unless you follow the instruction, and until and unless you take the medicines, you are not going to get cure. This is the fact. Okay. So uh, like when we engage, when we are putting Krishna in a center, and when we are engaging everything in Krishna's service, then we go then karma becomes a karma. We don't get the reaction for anything. Okay. So our second chapter was the chanting and the liberation. So here it is a description is there. The Hare Krishna mantra is so strong and so powerful, and so why there is reason for chant anything else. Like if it's like the medicine is so powerful, it is going to cure your disease, then why you have to try then why you have to try on a different medicines, and then why it is necessary, like why you want to go to the another doctor. So you have to simply stick to that doctor, and you have to simply stick to that medicine. And why Hare Krishna mantra is a better, because it is especially recommended for this age. And there are a lot of mantras in our in our Vedic scriptures in Vedas, but why Hare Krishna? Because it is recommended for this age. In Prabhupada is giving references from the Brahma Brahmanda Purana and the Sankarna Upanishad, and from the Agni Purana. And even Krishna himself come in a form of a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show us how devotee should be and how devotional service should be practiced. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply said like chant Hare Krishna. Okay. He is not saying us to do anything else. And like uh, even why it is necessary to take the mantra from the bona fide spiritual master. We can take it from anything. So similarly, when it comes to take the knowledge, like why it is necessary to take from the bona fide sampradaya, or then we can take it from anyone. We can on the YouTube, and we can hear lectures from anyone. So, but why it is necessary to take it from the bona fide? So Prabhupada is giving here one analogy, that some you are deceased, but you are going to you are directly going to the medical shop, and you are asking one drug so that you can cure your disease, but he is not going to give you. He is not going to give you because you require some prescription to order that drug. Okay. And this prescription, for the Hare Krishna mantra, is given in a shastras and scriptures. And we have to follow the footsteps of the great authorities to achieve the success in our spiritual life, who already gone through this treatment, and who already passed this kind of examination, or who already gone through this path. So yes, we should approach someone who is unadulterated and self-realized person. Okay. And it is also stated in a Mahabharata, Vana Parvat, 313.117, that we have to accept whatever progressive path the Mahajanas has advocated. So we have to follow the footsteps of a great sages, and we don't have to argue, and we don't have to achieve the absolute truth. In human life, you don't have this much time to understand all the Vedas, and then come to the summary, and then start practicing. No, then why to waste our time? We have to simply follow the what our great authorities are saying. So, and we also seen that by doing the mental speculation, by philosophical speculation, we cannot understand Lord. We can understand Krishna only through the devotional service, that too when we are practicing under the bona fide spiritual master. So so further, so yes, then we come to know, okay, we have to chant the Hare Krishna, but we have to accept the mantra through the bona fide spiritual master. And that's why this this Harinam initiation is taken, that we are officially accepting the mantra through the parampara. And so mantra can be given by anyone, and anyone can chant, but this is not the fact. What Krishna says, evam parampara praptim. So knowledge should be come through the disciplic cessation. It should not be distributed whimsically. Okay. And in Vedic injection, what is the Vedic injection? Sampradaya vihina ye mantras te nishvala matah. Nishval means it is not produce the desired result. Okay, so mantra should not come through the disciplic cessation. It will not act. So until and unless you take the mantra from the disciplic cessation, it is not going to give you desired fruit. So what is the desired fruit of a chanting Hare Krishna mantra? To develop the love and, like, to purify consciousness and to go back to the Godhead. And like, Hare Krishna mantra is to achieve the Krishna prema. Okay, so this is the highest goal of a chanting. But unless and until you take the diksha, whatever you are chanting, it is get converted to the some pious activity, so that you can, like, you can come to the platform of a initiation. So it is recommended for all to take the initiation, because like then only when we take the initiation and when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, then only our spiritual life actually starts. Okay, actually our spiritual balance start getting accumulated. So so further Prabhupada says here there are four channels, or there are four disciplic cessation from which we can take the mantra. These are our four sampradayas. So like, what are these four sampradayas? First is the, like, Lord Shiva. This is the Rudra Sampradaya. Then like, goddess, then second is from the goddess Lakshmi. Then from the Lord Brahma, like, which is in which we are, like a Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And fourth one is the from the four Kumaras, Kumara Sampradaya. Okay, so we have to, like, when we take the mantra through this, like one of these four sampradayas, then only the mantra is going to become active and it become effective. Okay, so like then the Yoko is asking, then like, yes, mantra is so powerful in itself, then like, why we have to receive it from the bona fide master, or like from this sampradaya only? Then Prabhupada is giving the analogies that, like, when the like, yes, milk is a nutritious, but when it get touched by the lips of a servant, then it become poisonous. It will be not nutritious. So when we take the Hare Krishna mantra or other mantras from any other, like, than this sampradayas, it will simply act like a poison. It won't give the desired results. So yes, like, we are like, Prabhupada is giving material examples because we are trying to understand Lord through our material senses. And from the limited senses, from the imperfect senses, we cannot understand someone who is a perfect and who is the unlimited. Okay. Then like, who is the genuine guru? Who is the genuine guru? Like, genuine guru is someone who comes under the bona fide sampradaya. Okay. So, like, yes, when mantra, Srila Prabhupada says here, when mantra come through the bona fide disciplic cessation, then only it will act with his full potency. Okay. And here, the Prabhupadas, like, they are discussing about the analogy of a flowers. So, like, yes, like, you can get, here, Yoko is saying, you can get attracted to, like, just give me the 5 more minutes. We are like going to finish this. So, yes, so like, we can get attracted to the different flowers. Someone can get attracted to the fragrance of a rose. Someone get attracted to the marigold flowers, or someone get attracted to the lilies, or someone get attracted to the, there are some flowers which don't have a fragrance. So they can get attracted to these flowers. But ultimately, like, you can know who is the best flower by, like, by the comparative study. And it is said that the fragrance of the rose is the highest. So, like, even, in a Krishna consciousness, in a Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says, that, like, as you surrender to me, the degree you surrender to me, I will reciprocate to that. So someone want to smell, smell Krishna consciousness like a rose, so Krishna reciprocate in that way. If someone wants to, like, smell it like a marigold, then, like, Krishna is going to reciprocate according to it. So Krishna is the supreme man, like, he can come in any form, and like, he can reciprocate as you want. So, like, there is no question. But what is the best? That, yes, the rose fragrance is the best. Then, like, go for it. So you don't need to smell other flowers also. So Srila Prabhupada is saying here, the chanting Hare Krishna is a recommended process for the cleaning our heart. So like, Cheto Darpana Marjana Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So like, actually, like, we are taking the birth from the millions of years, like, from the trillions of years, and like, our heart get, like, full of a dust or dirty things, because because of our material desires, and when we are coming in contact with this material conditioning. So our heart is a full of, full of the dirt. But when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, then Harinam Prabhu personally come and start cleaning our heart. and like like we cannot place the Krishna in some dirty place. So Krishna cannot come in the heart full of this dirt. But when we start cleaning our heart, and when heart get pure, heart get clean, then Krishna comes and resides in the heart. That's the reason Krishna is always always there in the heart of a pure devotees. So, please don't misunderstanding stand, because in the last part, what Prabhupada is saying here, if you simply chant, if you simply chant, then there is no requirement for any education or any reading or like anything else. You can simply go back to the Godhead simply by the chanting. But the point is that this chanting means like you are chanting without offenses, and like we are in a Kali Yuga, it is very hard to to avoid this kind of offenses. So to avoid these offenses, we require some purity, and to avoid these offenses, like we require some knowledge. And this knowledge comes when we read the Srila Prabhupada books. Because currently, yes, like someone simply by chanting go back to the Godhead, he must have taste for the chanting, and he must have the attraction for the Lord and the detachment for these material things. But like we don't have, we currently we don't have the one of the above. Na? So we don't have the attachment, we don't have the detachment, then then like it is not for us. This instruction is not for us to simply chanting you can go back to the body. Yes, you can go, but for the chanting in better way without offenses, we must hear from the senior devotees, and we must read the Srila Prabhupada books, because our philosophy should be clear. Okay. And even the Prabhupada in this section, the last section, the chanting for a liberation, here what Prabhupada is saying, if even the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come into contact with the scholars like Prakashananda Saraswati and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated them by giving some arguments. So like what Prabhupada is saying here, we should not be dumb. And if someone comes to argue with the Vedanta philosophy, then we must be prepared. And like how this preparation achieved, when we read the Srila Prabhupada books very sincerely, then you can argue with anyone. Okay, this is Prabhupada's mercy. So like this can be one of the lesson we can take out, that we should be prepared. And that's why like our Nam Nishta Das Prabhuji is saying, don't become a sahaja, try try to grasp the shlokas and try to memorize the shlokas. And I'm the one of the fool who don't like to recite or memorize the shlokas, but I'm also going to try now. So yes, this is the thing, that like we should not be dumb. That's why like we should read the Prabhupada books, and we should be ready to preach the mission, because like this is our family business. Like why Krishna come in this material world? To reclaim the jivas. Why he sent the bona fide spiritual master? To reclaim the jivas. And what Prabhupada pleases lot, like preaching the Krishna consciousness, and like helping the jivas to going back to the Godhead. And this is also like even Krishna says in a Bhagavad Gita, if you spread the Krishna consciousness to the to the general public, then he become very happy. So this is the one of the best way to please the Guru and Krishna, to pre-reaching. And but for the pre-reaching, we should be very well versed in the Shastras, and very well versed. So, yeah, like the best thing is that we have to read the Prabhupada books, then everything will be clear. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Mataji. Pranam.
Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.
धन्यवाद.
The one thing is, I heard in
Hare
a
Krishna
lecture
Mataji,
that
thank you,
scriptures
Sagatama.
are Krishna himself. The Krishna doesn't reveal himself to one who hasn't taken the shelter of a bona fide guru. Hence, we see maybe people, scholarly person to read the Bhagavad Gita, but they never understand the real purpose behind it. Yes, as the Sarita Mataji said, na, Krishna says that only his devotees can understand him. So unless we approach some bona fide guru and like a bona fide, devotee of Krishna, we cannot understand Krishna. Even like people are doing the PhDs, and like they are receiving the doctorate degrees in the Bhagavad Gita, but like when we speak with them, then you will come to know, oh, like they are just fooling us. They don't have the real knowledge. Okay. So Hare Krishna, thank you Mataji, and thank you Prabhupada, thank you for joining. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Tomorrow we will
Hare
start the
Krishna.
chapter 3. Okay. Hare Krishna.